Welcome, everybody, to episode 164 of Disney with the Ducks. Tonight, you've got me, John Kral, and I'm joined by Jody.
Hi, friends.
And we've got our friends, the Lees, here as well. So we've got Tyler and Katrina.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So welcome, guys. Tonight, before we get going, we just do want to ask all of our listeners to go out and give us a 5-star review on your podcatcher of choice. And please leave a review, give us 5 stars, and then share an episode with some of your friends. And come over to our Facebook group, Disney with the Ducks, and we can have some fun over there. We have some good discussions and share pictures of trips and upcoming trip plans, all that kind of stuff. So come join us over there, and we can have some fun conversations. All right, so tonight, we're going to ask a question like we do every week to get to know each other a little bit better and help our listeners get to know us. Tonight's question is, what was your first job? Jody, we'll start with you. What was your first job?
I worked at a summer camp, YMCA Camp Ernst in Burlington, Kentucky. It was my first job for a couple years. Absolutely loved it. Can't say enough amazing things about it. My daughter works there now. And then I worked at a local pizzeria. So, yeah. But Camp Ernst, I was a camp counselor, junior counselor, worked in the kitchen. I did everything there. Loved it.
Nice.
I made $0.01 per hour, but it was great.
Yeah. Well, back then,
I actually got paid in good deed beads, and I kid you not, they were called good deed beads, and that's how I got paid. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's a great way to get free labor.
Yeah, it was great.
Let's see if I can do that with some of our interns at work. Hey, guys. No, that's awesome, Jody. And I could see you working at a pizzeria. Did you try and spice up the sauce or anything like that?
I was a hostess.
Oh,
what?
Okay, that's fair. So you were recommending wines that went with the pepperoni or the Hawaiian. All right. So, Tyler, what was your first job?
Well, I picked my job based off the people working there, believe it or not, because I knew all the people working there. And I would not have normally picked it, but it was at Lon John Silver's.
Oh, I love that!
Free hush puppies?
Oh, yeah. And trust me, we would have all kinds of free food, and we loved every moment of it. But yeah, it was not the most glamorous job at all, but hey, we had fun.
Hey, you know what? That's all that matters at that age is make a little bit of money, learn how to be responsible, and have a good time.
Exactly.
Eat all the hush puppies.
And eat all
yeah.
So for that.
And we would have hush puppy fights and throw things at each other. And it was
the little extra crispy things that were on the bottom of the biscuits. I don't know what they were called.
They're so good.
We would just call them Crispies, yeah. So
yeah, delicious.
Yeah.
Just extra fried oil that ball.
Oh yeah, you smelled like seafood every night when you came home. It was just great. Yeah.
I have to clean eat this week because I've got a race on Sunday, and now I really want to go get Long John Silver. So thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Glad I could help with that.
Yeah, I don't clean eat before a race. I normal eat. Maybe that's why I don't run well. But hey, I guess you put the high end fuel in it. It works better. You put the low end 89 or whatever. It's not working. Katrina, what was your first job?
I worked at a daycare after school and in the summers, and I worked it was divided by rooms, and so I was with the school age kids, and so I got to work with the older kids. So it was probably a little bit easier than the littles, but I liked it. I worked there through high school and like my first year of college whenever I came home for the summer. So
wow.
Yeah.
So you've kind of always worked with kids then, right?
Yes, for a very long time until I switched after several years, and now I'm primarily adults.
Oh wow. Okay. So that's
when God was passing out all those virtues, you got the extra one of patience. So
I don't know.
When I got my short end of that one, you got all the extra one of it. That's what I'm hearing.
Depends on who you ask.
Depends on, yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe I have more patience than some people that I could work in the school system for as long as I did, but sometimes I don't.
And I don't know how you do it. I don't like kids. I don't want to be around them. It just doesn't work.
You're the man who has all the kids.
That's understandable, John.
So many of them. All right. Well, that's cool. That's fun. Gene, I'm glad you were able to join us. We got going a few minutes quicker than anticipated. So it happens. So we're talking about our first jobs. Well, so what was your first job?
My first job working for like an actual boss was at a place in my hometown called Cotton's Hamburgers, and it was greasy hamburgers with, onions that, like sauteed onions. And so like my mom wouldn't let me come home wearing those work clothes. Like I had to strip outside, like in the garage, and she would wash my clothes separately. But before that, my dad, when I was 11, my dad worked for the phone company, and every 3 years they were union. They had a contract, and their contract was up when I was 11, and they were far apart. My dad walked the neighborhoods where my grandparents lived, and on Monday when he didn't go to work, we loaded up literally the family station wagon with lawnmower and weed eater and blower from our own home, and we started doing yards. And when he went back to work 6 weeks later, we had a trailer and a riding lawnmower and all the stuff, and we had a real lawn maintenance business that I wanted to go work flipping hamburgers instead, and so I gave that up to go flip hamburgers for $3.35 an hour, like a dummy.
Yeah,
I could have a kingdom of lawn maintenance at this point if I'd have just kept it up. I could have been a tycoon.
You could have been
landscaping empire.
Yeah.
And then at the entrance to your house, you'd have a big marble statue of you riding a riding mower.
Right.
I would love it. I would come visit.
I would pay money to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm not surprised at all that you were like a hustler when you were a kid and doing that kind of stuff with your dad. I don't know why. I just see you as that type of person that's always been doing something. That's interesting. My first job, I was 14 and I was a scorekeeper for our Roseville Recreation Department. So I kept score and ran the scoreboards at softball games and at like kids basketball games and stuff.
Okay, John, here's the most important question.
Yeah.
Did you take payoffs? Did you, like, if someone's like, oh
no, I have integrity, Jody. I'm not taking a payoff to let some Bush League men's softball team win. Absolutely.
But do you?
If they ask.
I mean, honestly, if I would have been offered, I probably would have. But
there we go.
So, yeah. So I worked there for a couple hours, like a week. I'd do like 2 games on a Friday or Saturday, and it was super fun because I love sports. And then when I turned 16, I got like my first real job at like a store, and I was working at Kids R Us, and it was the kids' clothing store. So it was awesome because a couple of my friends from school, like they worked there, so they were like, "Yeah, come over here, it's fun." It was a bunch of teenage girls working there because not a whole lot of teenage boys at that time would go work at a Kids R Us. So it was, the ratios were in my favor and stuff there. It was just a fun work environment, especially like at nights and stuff, because go to school, go to practice or whatever, and then go work until 10 o'clock when you close, and you just have fun. So I liked it. But like you guys, the minimum wage back then was, I think, 12 cents an hour. So I don't even think it covered my gas getting to work and back to home, but that's luckily I had my parents to help. All right, so Tyler and Katrina joined us tonight to talk about a trip they recently took to Disney's Vero Beach down in Florida. So for those who don't know, it's a DVC property. They also have a hotel side, but it's on Vero Beach along Florida's Atlantic coast. So it's about a couple hours, 2 hours or something from Disney World. Is that right?
It's about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hour and a half. Okay. So it's a little ways away. So you're not going to stay there and go to the parks most likely.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's a cool resort that they have, and it's off site, away from all the hustle and bustle. So we're excited to hear about your trip. So what time of year did you guys go?
We went over spring break, so it was the first full week of April. It's like April 5th through the 10th or 11th.
And of course, that is the high season as far as points go for spring. The spring break, but their points are very reasonable. Even for the studios.
Yeah.
And what made you decide to go to Vero as opposed to Walt Disney World or California or any other place?
We wanted something a little bit more relaxing, and we had been there before. We actually went in 2020 in the middle of COVID, literally right after it started. We went that summer; they were still open, and we loved it. And we wanted to try it, and I mean, of course, then it wasn't really fully functional. So we wanted to try it again with it being fully functional, and we've been to Disney World, what, 3 times in the past full year, I guess.
Probably
So, so we wanted something a little bit more relaxing.
No schedules. I didn't want any
Yes.
schedules. I didn't want to have to be anywhere. And
That's good.
exactly what Vero is for.
Gene, they're speaking your love language. Beaches, no
Mhm.
schedules. That's
Mhm.
the way Gene vacations.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's nice
so
to have that every now and then for sure.
Yeah. It seems like you're either a beach person or a not beach person. And I was always on the not beach person side. I'm starting
I love the
to switch
beach.
sides.
I love the
I do
sun. I love the beach. I'm
I do
sorry.
too. Yeah.
No, so that's and that's awesome because you don't have to worry about all the other things taking your attention, right? You get to just chill and have fun. So you guys went in early April. You're DVC members, so you booked a room through DVC, and so you mentioned the points were pretty. It's their high season, but they were reasonable.
Yes. Like we stayed in a non-ocean view studio, but we requested a pool view. So we still was able to see the ocean, which was nice. But I'm thinking normally the points, like if you go in the fall, it's a much cheaper time to go because of hurricane season, obviously. But I'm wanting to say the points for the studios were around 20 points a night, maybe something like that. So I mean, about what you would spend at the Polynesian, probably.
Yeah, and it was during the highest season too. That's really not bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And they have cash rooms there too. So if people seen a non-DVC member who wants to go there, like if he loves the beach, if he's like, hey, I want to go to the beach, I want a little Disney touch. They rent out rooms there too.
I think they do.
I think they do. Of course, we never have gone that route before, but you could, if you're not a DVC member, you can also rent points. And of course, we have lots of contacts for that. If you want to just, rent the points from a rental company.
Awesome.
Let's consult the interwebs and see.
Gene, you are our Googler, our Googler in chief.
I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but there's a small statue at my recent training. I'll let you see it. You can't touch it. You can't hold it.
We got to share.
But I'll let you see it. So you see, it says Master of AI with a Sharpie on masking tape. But I won that award because at training they asked some things like, what would you want to name your emotional support lobster? They gave every team that was doing this training an emotional support lobster, and I used AI, and the name that we chose for our emotional support lobster was John Claude Van Clam, and I gave and there's some different things that just to make it fun, I used AI several times because it makes things better. It's smarter than me, and it's going to be my master one day. So might as well.
But you guys got to stop thanking it because it costs the company
millions of dollars.
Yeah, a year in extra energy because people say please and thank you, and it has to process that. So, Gene, you're actually hurting your cause with our future robot overlords.
I guess so.
Because they'll pick out the most efficient of us and promote us. That's what's going to happen. Okay, so wow, I don't know, we got way off track there, but so. You guys went, and you did bring along your children, right? Or did you dump them somewhere and just get away?
No, they got to come.
They got to come.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a couple of teenagers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that, like, how did they like it there? Because it is kind of more secluded, right?
It is.
Yes.
Honestly, I was worried after we got there because everything kind of shuts down at 10. And I thought they would get bored. But they really didn't. So they did not complain one single time about not having anything to do. they enjoyed being on the beach. They enjoyed having the pool, and they have a lot of activities that you can do throughout the day. Our kids talked about it, but they didn't do any of them, and that's okay. I really just kind of wanted to take it easy. But Carson did go and play basketball. We did the putt because they have a little putt course. And they were able to kind of do what they wanted and didn't necessarily have to have us buy them, especially our oldest, Carson. He can go off and do his own thing, and he's totally fine. And I think that kind of helped with the boredom piece, or feeling like they didn't have anything to do, because there were opportunities for things. It just closed down early for, I guess, our kids' standards, because they are night owls. But they really didn't seem to mind. And I enjoyed it. We were in bed early every night, and I loved that.
Yeah, that doesn't usually happen on a Disney vacation.
No.
So that was nice, feeling rested each morning and ready to start your beach day.
Well, I know Katrina sent you my notes from Alani, but that's Alani. Everybody, the whole resort closes down early, and you're in bed early. I think it's because most people are East Coast, so the time zone, but it's awesome. It's like, oh, it's 9:30. Let's go to bed.
I know.
Yes.
I mean, we never got that much sleep usually on a vacation.
No,
and it was nice.
No, it was very nice.
That's fun. What was their oh, we lost John all of a sudden. So what was their highlight, like their most, the activity that they enjoyed the most, either beach side or resort side or property wise? What do they really enjoy?
Probably just laying on the beach, and then putt. We did that.
We did putt
pretty much every day.
Cornhole, we did that.
We did cornhole several times, and Carson played basketball. They have like a separate area with a basketball court. They have tennis courts. They really have a lot of things to do.
Lots of recreational activities if you're into that. Yes.
So, Jean, you're our beach kind of expert. When your family goes on beach vacations, do you all do activities like that? Do you putt and play basketball and stuff, or do you just sit on the beach and like not move all day?
It depends on the weather. So usually we go to like the Destin area, and if the weather's nice, we're at the beach, and we do a lot of cooking in the room, because we'll stay like in a condo. And it's not that we won't go out to dinner, but like in the Destin area, it's so crowded. And if you want to, not wait 2 hours for a table somewhere for 10 or 20 people that we might have with us, then we're having to go eat really early. So we try to stay at the beach, but we do, we just do a lot of just relaxing, but like my son has rented paddle boards, and we do that kind of stuff. A lot of just hanging out at the beach and, playing volleyball. And if somebody's got cornhole, we'll bring can jam or stuff like that. We enjoy that.
Can jam. Love it.
Yep.
All right. So you all arrived on what day of the week?
Sunday.
Sunday, yes.
Sunday. And how crowded did you find the resort when you arrived?
Not at all.
And I'm sure it was sold out too, but it didn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel crowded when you're there.
It doesn't.
So big question. Was your room ready on time?
Well, we didn't check in till probably around 5 o'clock.
Yeah, we were a little late, I guess. But it was ready when we got there.
It was ready, yeah.
And did you stay? So for those of you who have not been to Vero, there's kind of like the main building, and then there's all these, what would you call them, like outskirt buildings? I don't know how to explain them.
Almost like condos, like individual condos set up.
Good way to explain it, yeah. So did you stay in that main building or in kind of the condo-ish type building?
We were in the main building.
The main building,
Okay.
yes.
So we were there for one whole night, one time. So not that I'm like the expert by any stretch of the imagination, but we stayed in the main building also, which was great. I loved it. Our room was great and everything. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But those outskirt buildings in particular, what are the ones closest to the beachfront called?
The cottages.
Yeah.
And those are like,
Very nice.
lots of points a night, of course.
Yes.
So, but it's a complete house. So on the beach.
Amazing.
So if you have the points,
Yeah.
I would
that'd be
definitely
great.
splurge on the cottage.
And again, anyone want to donate their points to us, we're all
Exactly.
just reach out to John, and John's going to share, right, John?
Sure, I'll share. Yeah. You know what I think we should do with them if anybody does want to donate? We take a duck trip down there. We don't need to bring kids. Just we go as adults and we have a good time.
I love it.
And then we can come back and report out on it. That'd be
Okay.
nice.
So you arrived on a Sunday. So that first day you got in there a little
For
bit
the
late. Now,
podcast.
what did you do that first night?
We just kind of like walked around the beach,
Yeah.
kind of walked around the resort.
Ate at the market.
They have great food at the market, by the way. It's their quick service, and it's awesome.
Oh, what kind of food do they have? Like, what did you guys like?
So they have special dinner specials every day. And the salmon was amazing. It was to die for. So that was my favorite thing that we had there. And then I guess on their main menu, they have your standard chicken tenders. They have a meatloaf, I think.
They have a deli, pizza. I mean, they have so many options to choose from.
Yes.
Somebody, I can't remember who it is, but somebody loves their pot roast there. Someone always raves about the pot roast, which seems like the craziest thing to eat on a beach property.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
ooh, let's dig into some pot roast and potatoes and
hot
carrots.
meat.
But I don't know. Apparently, it's really yummy. So
Yeah.
We have really never had a bad meal there. I mean,
No.
every meal has been consistently good, and all the kids even like it, which says a lot to satisfy them. So
It is very hard.
John and Jody, y'all like salmon, don't you? Y'all eat
I do.
salmon? Okay, I thought so. I just wasn't sure.
Salmon.
I love salmon.
It's literally the only food that everyone that lives in my house will eat.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
No one in my
Yep.
house will eat that.
Okay,
Really?
Not a soul. Not a single
just
person.
let's say the baby of your family. Whose favorite salmon did he like?
Yours. I think all of us
I
like
love
yours
that.
the best, Jody.
Yes.
But no, Crosby, I couldn't believe when he was doing that because he
Roz.
ate the crap out of some salmon at your house.
Crosby was like jumping out of John's arms to eat.
Yeah.
mostly. So that's my one claim to fame is like I apparently cook a salmon that the Kroll family likes.
My favorite place to dine in Cincinnati, Jody, is at the Binning household.
There we go.
Oh, salmon is so
And they
good.
even have the Dole Whips with rum too. So
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
Now you've
wow.
got chocolate.
I know. Yep. Now I'm there. Now I'm locked in.
I'm
And-
lucky with
and
that.
Already
There-
looking up the points charts.
Yeah, their Dole Whips, you could do pineapple, key lime, or you could do a pineapple vanilla swirl.
Key
Oh,
lime.
key lime.
We can get Kevin down there.
I wasn't interested yet, but I mean, up until this
We
point,
have
but
you
now
now.
I'm all over it. Duck strip for sure.
Oh yeah.
Key lime. I do.
Wow.
love key lime.
And they have two bars, a poolside bar and a green cabin bar.
It's called the
Okay.
Green Cabin Room, and
Yeah.
it's very nice.
Mhm.
Okay,
Wow.
so your room, did you guys have a full kitchen or did you have a kitchenette?
We had a kitchenette.
Kitchenette, yeah.
So you were eating most of your meals out.
Yes.
Yeah, we usually do not cook a whole lot while we're on vacation.
We like to try all the seafood.
We're seafood
Well,
lovers for sure. So,
And
So
you
you
guys
said
don't want to
that-
go on vacation to do the same work you do at home,
exactly.
right? Then you're just at home in a different place. We don't
Yeah.
get that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm on team eating out for every meal on vacation.
Yeah.
So when you went, you obviously ate on property that you said was really, really good. And I'm key lime Dole Whip. I can't get past that right now.
Mhm.
Like, that's all I keep thinking about. But so any place you went to locally that you thought was great?
They have. There was one place we went on our last night there called Riverside Cafe, and it was delicious.
It was very good. It was definitely a local place.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a local place. It was very crowded, so I think that kind of says something about it because the food that we had was great.
Mhm.
It was very good. We went to a couple of other places that I had researched and people on Facebook had recommended them, and they were just okay.
And you're really not close to anything when you're at the resort. It's a good 15 to 20 minute drive to any restaurant.
Oh, Oh, wow.
Oh,
So you are in the middle of not a whole lot. So
Yeah.
you have to really want to leave the property and to venture out. And a lot of times we didn't. So, but we did try to go out, at night to have a nice dinner.
Awesome.
Mhm.
All right, John, any more food questions? Because I know that's important to you.
so you mentioned the cabin room, or
Yes.
the bar that they have there. Like what's the atmosphere like in there? Is it more like a sports bar or more like a pub?
I think
No.
more yacht club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is that in the mornings, it's like they turn it into like a little coffee shop. You can go in and get your coffee and have pastries. And it has a patio on the balcony that overlooks the ocean. So in the mornings, I like coffee, and then my daughter does also. And so we would go, she and I would take our Kindles in the mornings, and we would sit on the patio and have our drinks while we read. So it was really nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is really nice. And that's the thing on vacation you should be doing. I think a lot of us get, we go to Disney all the time and it's go every minute. So
Yeah.
that's awesome that you guys got that fun experience in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. It was nice. And the people that work there are fantastic.
The staff is
very friendly.
Some of the best staff that we've ever encountered as far as cast members.
Wow. And so you mentioned earlier, neither of your kids got bored or complained about not having stuff to do. What were some of your favorite activities that you did at the resort?
Laying on the beach.
Doing absolutely nothing.
Doing nothing. We literally, when I say we did nothing, we literally
did nothing.
Other than like in the late afternoon or evenings, we would do putt-putt, we would play cornhole. But during the day, we would sleep in a little bit, and we would take our time getting ready to go down, and we just really relaxed a lot. They have a great activity center, though.
You could be as busy as you would want to. I mean, they have a full recreational staff with tons of activities planned for the day. And I will say most of the activities are for the elementary age population.
Yeah.
So that's why our kids weren't really involved with those. But I mean, they have some great activities and crafts and things that you can do.
And there were some that Bella was interested in. She's 12, and like you could make like a seashell frame, or you could make they had a picture frame made out of like Disney maps. So there were some things that were geared more towards a little bit older age group, and she was a little bit interested in those, but when it came down to it, she just wanted to lay on the beach too, because she is a beach bum. And she really wanted a tan. She knew every day what the UV index was.
Oh yeah.
So
she did.
My daughter is the exact same way on vacation.
Yes.
It was 10 today in Louisiana. I know my daughter was outside the whole day.
Yeah.
Well,
I have to go outside.
It's going to be 9 in Kentucky on May 6th, and she would like to stay home from school so she can take advantage of that.
I love it. How old is she?
She's 12.
She's 12.
She'll be 13.
She's almost 13. Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy.
So yeah, we are in that stage.
And in the process, she did get a little red, so it probably wasn't the best of ideas.
No.
Well, good luck with that, because it keeps going. I mean, my daughter's 15 and it's still the same.
So you were talking about activities, and I think we're all big fans of the dvc-rental.com with Scott and all of them.
Absolutely.
They talk about going to Vero and doing the paper airplane. I don't know what.
Yes, it's like an origami folding class.
All right, so we did not do this. Did you all do this?
No, but we saw people doing it and kind of stopped and watched for a minute. Bella and I did.
Okay, can you give a little bit of information on this? Because again, I was there for like 30 hours. Did not participate in all the things.
So I don't know. Some of their activities are like extra and some are free. And I can't remember if that one was or not, but we saw people in the lobby, like they were at a table in the lobby, and there was a cast member showing them like how to make something in origami, and we kind of stood and watched for a second because we were like, what are they doing? But I'm not exactly sure what they were making, but all the people doing it were very involved, and it did seem interesting. But again, I guess it didn't beat the UV index.
So they go to like the second floor and throw the paper airplanes. Is that how this works?
Oh, I don't know.
I still
I
can't.
missed that part.
We did not see that, but I mean, that could be.
I
What
could be
happened.
spreading false rumors right now. All I know is that like paper airplanes get stuck in the chandeliers from time to time.
I
So
could see how that would happen based on
I could see
the
that.
lobby. Yes,
Uh-huh.
the lobby's beautiful, by the way.
Oh,
it
it is.
absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
Yes.
And I agree with you all that the cast members there are just incredible.
Mhm.
What I noticed when we checked in there, the cast member came to us and we all sat down on a couch together.
Yes.
Like,
Same for us.
yes.
Yes.
and it was just kind of like a
Mhm.
Yeah. Mhm.
welcome to Vero Beach. It was just
Yeah.
chill, laid back, and don't
Mhm.
worry. We're just gonna sit on the couch and have a nice conversation. I was like, what is going on here? This is new.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And we took full advantage of that atmosphere and that
Mhm.
feeling while we were there. It was absolutely a great time just to relax and
Mhm.
forget about life's troubles.
Yes. But they have, like, as far as activities are concerned, they even have a lot of things for adults that we thought about taking part in, because they have a brewery tour where they would take you to different breweries in Vero Beach. And we had talked about that, but we ended up not doing it because we really just didn't want to leave.
Mhm.
But they offered that, and then they
They
had
had like rum, was it rum, tequila, and
a martini. They had like a
martini
martini
classes,
class.
yeah.
And they did all of that in the green cabin room in their bar. I think at 3:30 every day, and it was a different liquor each day or a
Mhm.
different focus. And that, I know that was $50 a person. And I have read that it was fantastic, but we just really didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, we had all that in Kentucky, so
Yeah.
So alcohol was not at the top of our game plan, but it sounded fun.
One more question, important question for this is for my son. How did you like the pool, and most particular, how did you like the slide?
So I actually did. I'm not a water slide person, and I did do the slide this time. And their slide is fantastic.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
They actually have slide races
yes.
as an activity, which is really fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they write who the winner is each day, and they have different categories. I think, like, they have one for kids and women and men.
Usually the adults go way faster than the kids, so it's kind of fun to beat them.
And the pool was great.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's a good size. It's heated.
It's a Mickey shaped pool, basically,
Mhm.
Mickey shaped head. And yeah, it had plenty of space for everybody. They have tons of lounge chairs, so you never have to worry about finding a lounge chair. A small hot tub. I wish the hot tub was like the size of Oak Key West or something. It's just a smaller hot tub. But overall, I mean, they have pool activities and games and trivia and to entertain you while you're lounging. By the
It has
pool.
a splash area for little kids.
Mhm.
So it's a really nice pool area.
For sure.
Sweet.
Awesome.
It sounds like such a cool place to visit, and just so
Mhm.
much more relaxed and different than Disney
You
World.
got to go, John, for sure.
We keep talking about it. It sounds awesome, especially like you said, with the points being pretty reasonable. I mean,
It
why not?
really, yeah.
Now,
it's not
did you? I don't know what time of year the sea turtle nesting and everything is, but did you guys get to see any sea turtles?
No,
We missed it. I think we were too early. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a little bit later
Like
in the
May
summer.
through June or May through
Uh-huh.
July, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to plan it around when we eventually go.
Yeah. I think I would
Because
go more summer. If
I
were
know
you. Yeah.
whenever it is season, they do I think like a sea turtle walk maybe
Oh, that's cool.
is it in the evening?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I always have thought that would be neat to do.
yeah, it would be. It sounds so cool. It would be so fun to see them.
Yes.
Awesome.
The only thing with the beach is it's a beautiful beach, and the area where the chairs are is flat. But if you have anybody with mobility issues getting down to the beach, I think could be a little bit challenging because
They've had so much beach erosion over the years that
Mhm.
there's a big drop off to the
Yes.
areas.
And they have a path like going down to it. But it's it would definitely be difficult if you had mobility issues because walking back up could be hard for some people.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And the Atlantic side of the ocean is very rough too, as far as the waves. So we're used to the Gulf, where you have small waves, and the Atlantic side, I mean, they're no joke.
It's a little rougher. But
You're more golf side type of person, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, but it's very pretty. The water is very blue, so and it's very pretty. It was very cold.
Nice.
This time. The water really hadn't had time to warm up yet, so my feet felt it, and that was all.
The kids and I didn't really care as much, so we got in there and splashed around and played. But it was cold for sure. It's not your typical, how you think the water should feel when you go in the summer or in the fall. So.
Yeah, and I think you're right though with it being on the Atlantic side too. That makes a big difference because the Gulf it maintains a better temperature, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. Huh.
So one of the things we've talked about the amenities and the food and the beach and the water and all that stuff, but we really haven't talked about the Disney side of this. So it is Disney's Vero Beach. It is a Disney property. So for those of you who don't know, there's obviously Walt Disney World and Disneyland and Disneyland Paris and Disney Tokyo and all that stuff. But there are 3 separate Disney beach resorts. So there's Disney's Vero Beach on the Atlantic side, which is about an hour and a half from Walt Disney World. There's Disney's Hilton Head, and then there's Disney's Aulani in Hawaii and Ko'olina, Hawaii. So this is one of the Disney beach properties. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Disney side of it? Like what did you feel? What touches did they have with Disney? Was it too much? Not enough? As Disney people, how did you feel about that?
I think for a beach resort that is not, so if a resort that is not at Disney World, I think it was exactly what it should be. There are you see like hidden Mickeys, and I think the friendliness of the cast members in itself kind of gives you that Disney feel. And we did see Donald at the pool one day.
Was at the pool.
And that was just by chance. We were walking up from the beach, maybe to get lunch or go to the restroom, and he was there. And it's possible that they had other characters through the week, but we were never at the pool like during the day. If we went, it was either in the evening or like the late afternoon, typically. So if there were other characters, I think we probably just missed them. But they would do Disney trivia at the pool. And so there were a lot of ways that it was incorporated. They do a Disney movie on there. They have like a main line, and they do that every other night. So there are things that highlight Disney, but it doesn't feel entirely Disney focused.
And even the room had touches of Finding Nemo throughout the room. So that was kind of cool. I mean, it wasn't in your face like some of the suites would be at Art of Animation, but just the small touches throughout. And then some of the snacks like I mentioned earlier that you could get at Disney. The churro and the pretzel, or was the pretzel one of them? Yeah, the pretzel and the Dole Whip. So you can get some of those same snacks that kind of bring you, make you think Disney also.
So not in your face. So if you weren't 100% like over the top Disney, you could still go there and enjoy it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
Yes.
100%.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. It sounds like a great place to go. I want to get there sometime and just relax with the kids.
Yeah, it's off the beaten path, so you just got to make a special effort to get there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you go back?
Yes.
100%.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, we would definitely go back. I'd say just the two of us, even
Mhm.
without the kids. I mean, I think adults could have just as good a time also.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not an adults only. It's a family resort, correct?
Definitely family resort.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Definitely
Because like I
family
said,
resort.
everything closes at 10. So,
Yeah.
so they want to make sure it's quiet for all the families going to bed early. And I
Mhm.
totally get that.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
All right. Well, sounds like you guys had a great trip, and it definitely makes me want to visit Vero Beach even more. Hearing about all the fun stuff you guys did and the good food and everything else. So that's awesome. And thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I'm so happy we actually got to hang out and talk a little bit too, because we haven't seen each other since
I know.
October, I think.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna move into, I think, all of our favorite segment of the show, and that's quacking up with the ducks. So we'll let our guests go first. Tyler, as the dad, I hope you have some good dad jokes, which I got a feeling you do.
Let's see what I got here. I did
He's
a little
tested them
research.
out today.
All right. Why can't the haunted mansion serve alcohol?
I don't know why.
Because the ghost took all the booze.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's funny.
That's a good one.
Love
I
that
like.
Another
All right,
baby.
Katrina, can you make us quack up?
You want one?
Oh, yeah. I think give me one. Let's see. He told a couple earlier. Let's see. Where is? Oh, why is Bambi merch so cheap?
Oh boy, I don't know.
It's only $1.
Oh,
Okay. Uh, all right, we got good. You guys are 2 for 2. That's better than Jeff ever was. So that's perfect. All right, Gene. Anything funny going on in your life that you think will make us quack up?
I don't know, but you guys know, I like to read. I like to read like higher brow stuff, not like your James Patterson or Colleen Hoover, whatever the girls are. No, I like deep stuff. So I went to the library the other day and I said to the librarian, I said, "Do you have a book on Pavlov's dogs or Schrodinger's cat?" And the librarian said, "It rings a bell, but I'm not sure if it's here or not." It makes my night when I make John laugh like that.
Do you? Well, and another funny thing is, do you know why that is so funny? This is the 3rd time this week a Schrodinger's cat joke has
Really?
come in my life.
That's great. That's
Thursday
awesome.
night, me and my buddies, I have my buddies over, like all the dads in the neighborhood over on Thursday nights to like watch. It was football season, you watch Thursday night football. Now we're watching the Pistons game and then playing video games. But it came up twice Thursday night, Schrodinger's cat, which it's not something that comes up in everyday life.
Right. No.
So that wow.
Jody was so impressed she left.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Schrodinger's Jody. I don't know, but yeah, Schrodinger's Jody. We don't know if she's there or not in Cincinnati. I hope it wasn't like a Thanos thing. Okay. So mine, because our guests are from the great state of Kentucky, I have a joke about horse racing.
Oh,
all right. How do you make a
Yeah.
All right. How do you make a small fortune in thoroughbred horse racing?
I know.
I don't know.
I would guess Gene would know. How do you?
It's the story of my life.
You start with what?
A large fortune.
Yeah, you start with a large fortune.
Not that I've ever had a large fortune. I'm just saying,
No.
Buy low, buy high, sell low.
Yeah, that's the way to go. That's what works for me. But again, that's why I'm going to work till I'm 90. So, wow. Well, anyway, thank you everyone for listening. Please go out and give us a 5-star review. Share an episode with your friends and come over and join our Facebook group, Disney with the Ducks. Yeah, I mean, Gene, it is pretty funny, especially the quacking up segment. But thank you to our guests, Tyler and Katrina, for joining us and talking about your awesome family trip down to Vero Beach.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fun to just get to hang out, and it's also cool to get to hear about your experiences. So that was awesome. And then Gene, I don't know how many laws we may or may not have broken during that episode, but do you think our attorneys could cover our butts here for us?
Yeah, they had a lot this time. You have disclaimer. You have just survived another episode of Disney with the Ducks, hosted this time by John, Joey, and Gene, a trio so powerful the podcast almost achieved sentience. Jeff, Lonnie, and Kevin were suspiciously absent and may or may not have been replaced by animatronic versions still stuck in B mode. Honestly, no one checked. No one wanted to. Special gratitude goes to Tyler and Katrina Lee for their soothing report from Disney's Vero Beach Resort, where the only lines are for seconds at dinner. The characters are mostly seabirds, and the most thrilling ride is a gentle stroll to the beach towel stand. Guests have been known to experience deep relaxation, profound inner peace, and a sudden urge to dramatically announce, "I'm never going back to work," while standing barefoot in the sand. Exposure to this episode may cause side effects such as excessive purchasing of sunscreen you don't need, attempts to install hammocks in unsafe locations, arguing that technically napping counts as a Disney experience, daydreaming about a talking dolphin offering you a Dole Whip, and excessively checking the UV level. And as always, we ended up with Quacking Up with the Ducks, the segment that proves dad jokes are an unstoppable force of nature. It should only be handled by trained professionals or reckless amateurs like ourselves. If laughter persists for more than 4 hours, congratulations, you are our kind of people. Disney with the Ducks is not responsible for vacation bookings made during this episode, unauthorized hammock purchases, or emotional damage caused by bad puns. Please enjoy responsibly. Batteries, beaches, and common sense not included. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, I think that's going to protect us quite well. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't. All right. Quaharini, everyone.